Hi all, I am Ansupi Saji of M1 SACM SNIT Adur. Today, my presentation topic is electrical resistance strain gauges. As we know, when we apply force on a body, there will be some amount of deformation in the body due to the applied force. This amount of deformation is known as strain. More specifically, it is defined as the fractional change in length. The strain epsilon is equal to change in dimension by original dimension. The devices which are used to measure these small changes in dimension is known as strain gauges. Let us now discuss about the characteristics of ideal strain gauges. The first point, the gauge should be of extremely small size so as to adequately estimate the strain at a point. As we studied in theory of elasticity, in some cases we have to consider a single point for the strain measurement. So, gauge should be of small size. The second point, the gauge should be of significant mass to permit the recording of dynamic strains. It should be easy to attach to the member being analyzed and easy to handle. The strain sensitivity and accuracy of the gauge should be sufficiently high. It should be unaffected by the external conditions like temperature, vibration, humidity, and other ambient conditions. The calibration constant for the gauge should be stable over a wide range of temperature and time. It should be capable of indicating both static and dynamic strains. It should be possible to read the gauge either on location or remotely. It should exhibit linear response to strain. The gauge and associated equipment should be available at a reasonable cost. Electrical resistance strain gauges. These are devices whose electrical resistance varies in proportion to the amount of strain in the device. These are also the devices which satisfy the almost many of the characteristics of ideal strain gauges. It is an extremely common device used to measure strain in the structures and also as a sensing element in a wide variety of transducers, including those used to measure force, acceleration, and pressure. Electrical resistance strain gauges and associated signal conditioners are simple, inexpensive, and quite reliable. It operates on the principle that the electrical resistance of a conductor changes when it is subjected to a mechanical deformation. As we studied in our physics classes, the equation for resistance R is equal to rho L divided by A, where rho is resistivity of the material, that is resistance per unit length. L is the length of material and A is cross-sectional area of the material. If the conductor is stretched, its length will increase and cross-sectional area will reduce. And as the equation suggests, the resistance will increase. Similarly, when the conductor is compressed, the resistance will decrease. Let us now discuss about the classification of electrical resistance strain gauges. They are unbounded type strain gauges, bonded type strain gauges. It is again classified into wire type and foil type. Then the third one, semiconductor or piezoresistive strain gauges. Unbounded resistance strain gauges. From the right figure, we can see strain sensitive wires, electrically insulated pins. These are provided to avoid the chance of short circuit. Then fixed frame and movable armature. In this figure, we can clearly see the structured unbounded strain gauge wire. In this type, as the name suggests, the electrical resistance element in the form of grid, it is unsupported. A fine wire is stretched out between two or more points. It may form part of a rigid base and it is strained. When strain caused, change in the resistance is measured by a suitable circuit to give an output signal which is function of strain. Four separate resistance wires are connected electrically to form a Wheatstone bridge and arranged mechanically. The next one is bonded resistance strain gauges. It comprises of a resistance metal which is bonded close to the surface whose strain has to be measured. The exploded view is shown in the next slide. The thin wires or the foils, they are shaped into a grid pattern which is cemented between thin sheets of insulating material as paper or plastic. The assembled gauge is bonded to the surface with a thin layer of adhesive and finally waterproofed with a layer of wax. The grid experiences some strain as the material to which it is bonded. This figure shows bonded resistance strain gauges. Here we can see the fine resistant wires which are in the form of a grid. This is the exploded view. Wire type resistance strain gauges. It consists of very fine wires of diameter 0.025 mm provided into a grid shape. This grid is cemented between two pieces of thin paper with plastic or ceramic backing. This is done in order that the grid of wire may be easily handled. This is securely bonded with a suitable cement to the surface of the member in which strain has to be measured. This is the figure of wire type strain gauges. Foil type resistance strain gauges. It consists of foil less than 0.005 mm thick and consists of metal foil grid element on a thin epoxy support. Epoxy filled with fiberglass is used for higher temperatures. The major advantage is that it have better fatigue life and lateral strain sensitivity. It is thinner and more flexible, so it is permitting to be applied to sharply curved surfaces. The common wire or foil gauges are called metallic gauges. This is a figure of foil type resistance strain gauges. The third type is semiconductor or piezoresistive strain gauges. These gauges cut from single crystals of silicon or germanium. It is combined with exact amount of impurities such as boron and impart certain desirable characteristics to act as a strain gauge. When gauge is bonded to a material which is strained, causes changes of current in semiconductor material. Its advantage is it have high strain sensitivity and allows very small strains to be measured accurately. It is again classified into two types as positive or p-type semiconductor gauge and negative or n-type semiconductor gauge. A gauge whose electrical resistance increases in response to tensile strain is known as positive or p-type, and when resistance decreases in response to tensile strain, it is known as negative or n-type. Measurement of stress. In the engineering design process, it is often necessary to determine the stresses in a structure experimentally to determine if the structure is sound. It is difficult to measure the stress directly, but a strain gauge can be used to measure the strain, and then the stress can be determined using Hooke's law. We know sigma is equal to E into epsilon, where sigma is normal stress, E is modulus of elasticity, and epsilon is strain. Application of strain gauges. Experimental study of stress in transport vehicles, experimental analysis of stress in structures and machines, apartments, buildings, pressure vessel, bridges, dams, towers, etc., experimental verification of theoretical analysis, design and development of machines and structures, assist failure analysis, as a sensing element in transducer for measurement of forces, load, pressure, displacement, torque, etc. Thank you.